Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the first episode of Broken Sword: The Shadow of the Templars. Today, we are playing through starting the playthrough of the original version that was released back in the 90s on the PlayStation, PlayStation 1, that is. We have played through Broken Sword, but as the director's cut, and we streamed that back in 2020. And also as well, we have the complete series as well over on the YouTubes. I just realised I moved the buttons around on my stream deck, and now all the buttons are in the wrong place. But the complete series of all 5 Broken Sword games, including the 1 and 2's director's cut, are on over there on a playlist. But today we are starting the way it was originally when it came out. This is basically the PS1 equivalent from when it came out. So we'll fire this up. Scream if the dialogue is too quiet, and I'll jack it up.
Pajama!
I keep forgetting about that one. Okay, let's fire it up. I have the game audio on. If the dialogue is too quiet, scream, and I will adjust it. As always with these games, I won't try. I won't talk over the dialogue as much as I can. Okay, let's start.
Paris in the fall, the last months of the year and the end of the millennium. The city holds many memories for me, of cafes, of music, of love, and of death.
Looking forward to do this one all day. So we have the credits rolling now. I'll just that's incredibly loud in my headset. What's that there, Chrissy? This is that's what you tell everyone why you haven't cleaned up. Everything's isn't where I left it. we like playing a game in this house of where the hell have you hidden the scissors today? Because they're never in the same place, and then I'm always met with the response with, "What are you talking about? They're always there." No, they're not. So in comparison to the old one, we're going to get straight in with George, as opposed to in the director's cut where we have all the extra Nico's adventures. This one is going to take us straight to George, straight at the cafe. And here we go. So there we go. So you got 5 minutes. Now you need to document though
As
every
I picked
time.
myself up, all I could hear was the ceaseless drone of traffic. Life went on around me. But the explosion was to change my life forever.
You need to document it every single time, Chrissy, to make sure that the story is consistent for the location of the scissors. Okay, let's have a little rummage around.
I contemplated crawling under the umbrella and pretending none of this had ever happened.
Before we get too far, is George's audio levels okay, or do you want me to jack it up a bit?
The leading article referred to the visit of a Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state. That was the only news story. The rest was rumor, gossip, and sensationalism. Then I noticed the writing at the foot of the page. It read Salah Eddin, 1345.
That's the newspaper that we have to give to that worker, if you remember.
I considered straightening the table, but I figured it best not to disturb the evidence.
Yeah, I think the intro music, there is like the background music of the game, but the intro thing, I think that was part of like the cinematic recording. I don't think I could have adjusted that. I'm hoping, if I just tap on here, volume, I've got that right down the bottom. Speech and the effects are all up, which I think that fell under this category. I had to turn my headset down because it was too loud during the intro. But I'm assuming there is like a slight hum of the music just in the background now, which I'm hoping is just nice enough in the background. Right, let's go into the cafe, because that fella there just carried on working after the explosion. No emergency services have been called, of course.
I tried not to meet his stare as I searched the dead man's pockets. No wallet, no papers, no credit cards. The guy's past was a blank page.
That one was alright there, Chrissy, no bother. And I take it, well, George's voice is at an alright level, because I can always jack that up a bit. Just realised, but in the director's cut there was a mirror here that you could go in and you could see the reflection of the dead fella. Is there anything we need to pick up from this bit? No, we have to talk to the woman there.
I needed a stiff drink, but I hated the taste of brandy.
I'm believing it should be alright. I had a little quick glance around and it should be alright, this one. So, much like this in Mass Effect, I'm going to try and leave it on.
Oh, my head. Never again. How much vodka did I drink? Oh, no, don't tell me. What is your name, Sherry?
George Stobbart, ma'am.
Oh, American.
She asked the question quite innocently, but I could sense her reserve. It was something which seemed to afflict all Europeans. You look like you could use a little help.
I could use a little drink. I feel sick, dizzy, and bruised. I don't even remember the party.
Just relax and take it easy. You've been knocked out.
You don't say. What happened?
There's been an explosion. You should try not to move.
Are you a doctor?
Okay, so we have the choices are down the bottom. This one, our inventory will be along the top area as well when needed. But let's tell her we are a doctor.
Yes, I am. I studied under Dr. Benton.
Who is he?
Only one of the most brilliant medical minds on this planet. He taught me everything I know about medicine. Can you remember anything at all?
No. I need a drink. Pour me a brandy.
You could be in shock. No alcohol.
Okay, you're the doctor. What about your man? Is he dead?
Yes, he is.
Ah, mon Dieu.
And she's out.
The pretty young waitress was unconscious.
Still no emergency services. So what sort of trouble you been causing today then, Chrissy? Did you have fun at your morning meetings? Now what's coming up in a second is one of my favourite lines. Actually, my finger is poised over the clip button. I'm going to clip it this time.
Freeze! Hold it, right there.
Whoa, don't shoot. I'm innocent. I'm an American.
Can't make up your mind, huh?
I demand to see the American consul.
Drop your weapons and get down on the ground.
Put that thing away, Sergeant. Move. I apologize, monsieur, but I cannot permit you to leave.
Am I under arrest?
Ah, no, I would simply like to ask you some questions. En avant, to the café, marche.
I love that line. I'm innocent. I'm an American. Can't make up your mind, huh?
What a mess. This bombing is an outrage, is it not?
Stop that, monsieur. Stop holding your breath at once.
Has it occurred to you that he may be dead, Moo?
Oui, monsieur. But I prefer to look on the bright side. Besides, I recall a case where the killer escaped by feigning death. However, in this case, the man is quite dead. Clearly, the killer knew of his presence and...
How many times have I warned you about premature extrapolation? All we know is that he is dead.
It seemed reasonable to assume...
A great detective assumes nothing. Take Maigret, for instance.
But he was a fictitious character, monsieur. Why, he was no more real than Poirot or Tintin.
That's different, Moo. They were comedy Belgians. Anyway, it is unlikely that even you will learn much from talking to the dead. Examine the girl and take her statement, if you can. Et maintenant, to business. Your name, please?
George Stobbart. I'm from California.
And what brings you to Paris, Monsieur Stobbart?
Travel. I'm touring Europe.
You chose well. The city is most beautiful at this time of year, no?
Yeah, I guess so, apart from the bomb blasts.
Were you in the vicinity of the cafe at the time of the explosion?
Yeah, I was sitting out on the sidewalk. I was lucky I wasn't killed. The inspector passed over my remark with no reaction.
Did you see the deceased enter the cafe?
Yes, we did. And you say you're feeling better today from your made-up illness, Chrissy?
Yes, I did.
Was he alone?
Yeah.
And did he say anything to you?
No, he was more interested in the waitress.
Did you see anyone else in the cafe?
Yeah, there was a guy dressed as a clown. He was carrying an accordion.
An accordion? Bon, the picture is forming in my mind, and it is not a pretty one. Is the girl all right, Moo?
She'll live. She confirms the doctor's statement.
Oui? You did not tell me you were a doctor, monsieur?
No, that's right. I didn't think it was relevant.
Eh bien, I have heard enough.
What do you mean?
I am satisfied that you know nothing. You may leave. Enjoy your vacation, Dr. Stobbart.
What about my personal safety? Can't you at least give me some advice?
What can I say? Stay alert and look out for suspicious characters.
And don't cross the road until the little man shows green.
Great
Indeed.
advice.
I honestly believe you are in no danger, monsieur. Should you remember anything of importance, please contact me. My card.
Thanks.
That is all. You may go.
There's not much to go on, monsieur.
On the surface, no. But what lurks inside the subconscious? If the door can only be opened.
Are you serious, monsieur? I thought your interest in psychic detection was purely academic.
Academic? You are about to witness a scientific breakthrough.
Clearly not. Oh, and here we meet Nico.
Excuse me, mademoiselle? Hi, my name's George Stobbart.
Oh, an American by the sound of it.
Yeah, that's right. On holiday in Paris. Some holiday, huh?
You were here when the bomb went off?
Sure was. Sat right out front of the cafe.
Did you notice a middle-aged man, maybe 60, with an hat and overcoat?
I couldn't believe it. She hadn't even asked how I was feeling. Yeah, He went inside just before the bomb exploded. You weren't related to him, were you?
Oh no, nothing like that. I am Nico Collard from La Liberté.
What's that, some kind of nightclub?
No, it is a newspaper.
You're a reporter?
I'm a freelance photojournalist.
Say, you can interview me about the bombing. You know, an eyewitness account. Minutes after the outrage that shook the whole of Paris. You know, real-life drama, human interest, that kind of stuff.
I'll just stick to the facts, thank you. Did you see who planted the bomb?
I know it sounds crazy, but he was dressed like a clown.
Oh God, it's him again.
Have you met the clown before?
It's a long story.
I have plenty of time.
I don't.
I thought your favourite character was Andre, Chrissy.
Who's the guy you were supposed to meet?
His name was Planter. I didn't know him, but he called me last night. He said he had a story which would interest me. He asked me to meet him at the café. I guess I'll never know what he wanted to tell me.
Not unless you have Rosso's gift for psychic interrogation. Look, the inspector gave me his card.
Also?
You know him?
Oh yes, we've met. I didn't know his first name was Augustin. It suits him, I must say.
Agreed, Chrissy.
Rosso didn't blink when I told him about the clown. It's as if he already knew.
That is typical of a cold fish like Rosso. I've seen cheeseburgers with more spunk.
You speak very good English for a French girl.
Thanks. You speak very good English for an American.
How did Plantar get your name?
Through the newspaper La Liberté. I'd written an article linking two unsolved murders. One in Italy, the other in Japan. The cases were remarkably similar. A wealthy victim, no apparent motive, and a costumed killer. Plantar said he could supply me with more information.
Why won't you tell me about this clown?
Why do you want to get involved?
Because he almost killed me. Isn't that reason enough?
I guess so. Listen, I'll give you my phone number.
Quick work.
You help me with my story and I'll let you in on what I know. And let's get one thing straight right now. This is strictly business.
Okay, it's a deal.
I have to go develop these pictures. À bientôt, monsieur.
Fine, I'll, see you soon.
See what Moo has to say.
Excuse me, Sergeant.
You heard the inspector. Go on, monsieur.
Did you find the victim's briefcase yet?
No, sir. The inspector gave me specific instructions to guard this door. Until he countermands these orders or backup arrives, here I stay.
I really did see the clown. He ran into the alley across the street.
Did you follow him?
That's your job, not mine.
An armed chase? Through the streets of Paris? That's not our style, monsieur. Inspector Rosso may be unorthodox, but he's not crazy.
How did you and Rosso arrive at the scene of the explosion so quickly? You arrived within minutes. Was it a tip-off?
Inspector Rosso's sources are a perpetual mystery to me, monsieur. There are some who say he has made a pact with the devil.
And what do you think?
I think he is the devil.
What is Rosso doing with that girl?
He is giving her the once-over, as you Americans say.
Huh?
Once he gets his teeth into a case, nothing will shake him off.
Was he serious about all that psycho-detective stuff?
Of course. Inspector Rosso is a pioneer and a visionary. His revolutionary methods, once perfected, may change the face of law enforcement forever.
I can't see it taking off in L.A. I was one of the last people to see the victim alive, Sergeant.
Does that worry you?
Yes, it does. I feel I owe it to him to find his killer.
That is best left to the authorities, monsieur. Did he speak to you? Tell you anything?
No, he just grinned and nodded.
Don't let it trouble you, monsieur. Go home and try to forget.
I know the identity of the dead guy. His name was Plantar.
Is that so? You knew him, did you?
No, but
We'll know everything there is to know about him soon enough.
I'm trying to be helpful here.
The best way you can help us is to go home, monsieur.
See you later, Sergeant.
Okay, should we... So, let's go over this way and we'll go into the alleyway. I think we should probably really go and speak to the fella first because it's his tools we have to nick, isn't it? To lift up the drain cover in the alleyway, to follow it down underneath into the... Is it like a hotel entranceway? Let's take a look.
There was nothing of interest.
How many sort of action points are there around here that we can grab?
It smelled like someone had dumped a truckload of fish in a locker room on a hot summer afternoon.
Sounds fun. Okay, so we know about this bit here. I'm trying to remember if there was a bit where we had to... We get like a tissue, don't we? And George hauls it all over the place.
I tried to lift the cover with my fingers, but couldn't gain any leverage.
What weird things did George carry around in his pockets in this game? We know that in the second one he was carrying around the worm and the panties for the whole thing. Was he carrying anything weird in this one? Okay, let's hop over here. So does that seem like it's getting louder and louder? Just knock it down a level. Oh, was it the dog biscuits in this one? That's a good point. Where does he get them?
That phone!
Sorry. Hi, can you spare a few minutes?
I thought you'd been arrested.
Nah, it was a misunderstanding.
When he pulled that gun, I thought that was it. Those automatics pack quite a punch, you know?
He made a mistake. He thought I was a terrorist.
You? A terrorist? Ha!
He was only doing his duty, I guess. Did you see a clown come by this way?
A clown? Like in a circus?
Yeah, with makeup and a big red nose.
Huh! Those guys are funny, aren't they?
Not in my experience.
I love the circus, especially the horses.
You haven't answered my question. Have you seen a clown?
You think I've got time to watch everyone who passes by? Some of us have to work for a living.
Did you see an old guy with a briefcase?
Wait, silly old coot. Do you know what he said to me? Work fascinates me, he says. I could watch it all day. Quel bit. I could have knocked his block off.
Did you recognize the old man?
No. Should I have done? Was he a celebrity?
No, but I guess he is now. His name was Plantar.
Was? He's dead then?
Yeah.
That's too bad. Now I wish I hadn't called him what I did. If only I could turn back the clock. If only I'd been more tolerant.
Regret and remorse are strange emotions. They really bring out the hammiest actors in people. Look, I know you're busy, but surely you'd have noticed a clown.
I told you already. I didn't see a thing.
He was wearing multicolored baggy trousers and makeup.
He'd be a poor sort of clown if he didn't.
Listen, I have to find that clown. He's a killer.
Say, who are you anyhow? A cop?
No, of course not. I mean, do I look like a cop?
I guess not. How do you know this guy's a killer? Did you see him in action?
Didn't you hear the explosion? The cafe was blown up.
The clown killed the old man?
That's right. Blew him up with a bomb concealed in his squeeze box.
Merde. But why did he go to the bother of dressing up like a clown?
Who can unravel the tangled logic of a killer's mind? I guess it's some deep-seated psychological need. Or just plain showmanship.
Let's skip the newspaper now.
Would you like to read my newspaper?
I haven't got time to read that. Can't you see I'm busy?
You could read it on your lunch break.
10 minutes is all I get. And if my boss had his way, I wouldn't get that. He'd have me on a drip, so I didn't have to stop to eat.
Oh, take the newspaper and quit complaining.
Bah! Look at this. Damn bleeding heart liberals. Tja! Save the dolphins. Catch them and eat them, I say. All that fuss over a bunch of fish. Nah, that's more like it. Look at the size of those. Like champagne bottle corks, no? Ah, what's this? Salah-Eddin running in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe.
It's a racehorse?
A horse? A legend. Bucephalus reborn, mon ami. Like a streak of lightning she is.
Now, I can't remember. Is it...
Do me a favor, won't you? Keep an eye on my hole. I'm off to put some money on that nag.
Was it later in this game, or was it in the later games like to follow, where the reference that he made quite a bit of money on that bet comes back?
I'd found just what I wanted. A tool for lifting manhole covers.
Yep, that's what we need, and we don't have anyone to call at the moment, do we? Yes, we've got Nico's number. There's like a kind of a weird nose or something's number that we get as well. But we haven't really got anything to go on just yet. How do we exit this? There we go. Hop over here. Down there. Try to see if we could fast travel there by right or left clicking. get through the gap in the building. Yeah, because it definitely comes back as they do reference it somewhere down the line. I just can't remember exactly where, because he's like work colleague I think was upset or something, wasn't he? Was it maybe he's in the third one?
I lifted the cover to reveal what smelt like the entrance to a sewer.
Where there was a van. It was a van man or something like that. Can't quite remember. There's a lot of footage. There's like 30 odd streams in the entire series for Broken Sword. Here we go. Let's grab that thing there. I think that must be the manky tissue.
As I picked up the plastic ball, I realized
What is
it
his
was
nose?
intended to be worn. It was the clown's red nose.
I'm sure there's a bit where we get like a bit of the cloth with the stuff on it. Maybe I just have to walk past it. Oh no, that must be it. or that's it. Maybe it's one or the other.
I scooped up the sodden tissue. It was cold and greasy, like breakfast leftovers.
And what's this last piece on here?
I took hold of the scrap of material and unsnagged it from the spike. It was the soggy tissue I'd found in the sewers. It was the scrap of material I'd found in the sewer.
Okay, this puts us in a little, it's like a car parking sort of area. I can't remember. Ah, here it is. Yeah, that fella.
Hold it right there, you sewer rat. I knew you'd come back, and now I've got you.
What are you talking about?
You're trespassing. Come out of there, immediately.
That's what I'm trying to do. Give me your hand.
You won't catch me with tricks like that. Keep your distance, monsieur.
Okay, okay.
Now, what were you looking for?
I was looking for a clown.
Huh, ridiculous. Do you really expect me to believe that?
He planted a bomb in the cafe and blew it up.
What? The café? Blown up? Mon Dieu, that is awful. And you say the person responsible was dressed as a clown?
That's right. He blew up the cafe, escaped into the sewer, changed his clothes, and came up here.
Ah, mon Dieu. Then, the man I chased, do you think that man and the clown are one and the same?
Well, yes, it had crossed my mind.
Ah, that still does not explain what you are doing down the sewer. For all I know, you are in league with him.
Oh no, I'm just a tourist.
Haha, most tourists are content with the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, or the Pigalle. I didn't realize my waste pipes were such an attraction.
Who does that voice? I'm recognizing that his voice from something else. I can't think what it is. I'm going to have to go look it up after the thing.
Perhaps you'd like to take a look at my card?
What is this? Inspector Augustin Rousseau? What does that say? Hominoid Division?
A homicide. I think the ink's smudged.
Then you are not a tourist.
Okay, I'm not. I lied to you, and I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, monsieur. You know, I had a feeling there was something different about you. It is your posture, your poise. Oh, yes. There is no mistaking the bearing of a disciplined man. And I should know. I was in the army, you know. When I was your age, I was fighting for my life in the African desert. How can I help you, Inspector?
Let's start over from the beginning and tell it just like it was. Tell me about the man you apprehended.
He was a mean one, monsieur. He grabbed me in an armlock, his face suddenly next to mine. His grip was like iron, but he did not know what he was up against. Oh no, he made a big mistake when he took on one of the desert hyenas.
Yes, I get the picture. Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
So you don't want to hear about my experiences in the desert? I fought to make this country what it is today.
I'm sure you did, but I'm a little short of time.
Evening, JD. We're starting Broken Sword, the original version this evening. I'm still loving that when it pops up there. Welcome in, the Squeaky Bottle King, ruler of the fishy cold place. So how are you tonight then, JD? What sort of trouble have you been up to?
Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
You can't suspect her, surely.
Just answer the question, please.
Yes, I know her quite well, you could say. She came to work at the cafe 7 months ago. I look forward all week to the relief she gives me when she visits.
Really? So you'd miss her if she wasn't there?
Oh, mais oui. Who else would I find to cut my toenails?
I'm just thinking, all the sort of, like, you know, the innuendo in all the dialogue here. What's that there been? I've been trying out. Oh, that's right. Because was it last week? I think it was last week. You said that you were getting some new classes in. Have they been? Did they like give you? Did they give you like a set like to test to make sure they've got the right measurements or what have you? For them before they do like the final ones and that. I think is everything now not like blurry? You can see everything clearly now.
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
Why, yes, it was. Clutched in his arms like a baby.
That belonged to his victim.
Oh, what do you think was in it? Drugs? Stolen jewels?
I don't know, but the killer thought it was worth a man's life.
Nothing is worth that, monsieur.
I can't remember what was actually in the briefcase.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur. It's disgusting. What on earth possessed you to show it to me? Someone has emptied their nostrils into it.
It's like watching everything in HD, JD.
Did I show you this tissue?
Ooh.
Oui, monsieur.
And click on the next one there.
Does this piece of material mean anything to you?
Ah, that is the same cloth as the jacket I found. I'd recognize that pattern anywhere.
This is what I used to open the manhole cover.
I have one just the same as that, monsieur. I will fetch it if you like.
No, don't bother.
Oh, it is no bother, monsieur.
Nah, forget it.
Just trying to be helpful, monsieur.
Take a look at this false nose.
Aha! That looks like a clown's nose to me.
Precisely. He must have dropped it in his panic.
Unless he wanted you to find it.
Why would he want to do that?
To put you off the scent.
Now, about the jacket you found. Do you have it here?
No, monsieur. One of the sleeves was badly torn, so I sent it for repair. A pity, because otherwise it was a fine piece of quality tailoring. It had the tailor's name inside on the label.
Where did you send the jacket?
I gave it to an itinerant Romani seamstress.
Just my luck.
Now, that explosion went off just a moment ago. Just wait for the scream-ball announcement. that explosion went off just a little while ago. The guy escaped through here, and this guy's already like swiped the jacket and it is like sent it somewhere to be repaired. Not much today, JD. Yesterday was the adventure. I spent quite a chunk of day. I was tempted, if it wasn't that the girls were just so cozy up on my knee, I was tempted actually to fire up the camera because it was really hot and sunny this morning. It's freezing now. I'm sitting here freezing cold here, but the girls were loving the sun. I've been pottering around with work. What's up there? Doing well. Oh, don't believe him, JD. He's putting on this illness. It's anything to get out of team making duties. It's terrible behaviour. Was that lost all my smell, which is good for junior snappies. Don't worry. I'm sure when you're feeling better, there'll be plenty joyous smells for you to absorb.
Was there anything in the jacket pockets?
Not a sou. You know what I think?
Do tell me.
He changed out of the clown suit and cunningly disguised himself as an ordinary person.
Looks like I'm up against a mastermind.
I'm sure his name is Khan, isn't it? The killer.
What was the name on the label?
Ah, it was a foreign name. Todrick, I think.
Did you get the address?
There wasn't one, monsieur. Only a telephone number.
Well, I don't expect you to remember a phone number you've only seen once.
74 98 08 59.
You're kidding. That's his phone number?
Yes, that's it. A little trick with numbers that I learned in the desert.
I have to find out.
I was taught the technique by a Tuareg shaman.
That's incredible.
It comes in handy at the supermarket checkout. Do I get a reward?
Honesty, monsieur, is its own reward.
Then I'm glad I do not rely on honesty to pay the bills.
I have to find out who does that voice. It sounds so familiar from something. I don't know whether it was a game or maybe I'm thinking of like some TV show or something from the 90s. Don't know if it was like a live action thing or maybe a cartoon, but I've definitely heard his voice in something else. I can't think what it is. Yeah, are you thinking Khan as well? Yeah, he does get. I'm trying to remember, does Khan get killed in this one or the second one? But I think he gets killed towards the end of this one. I think it's right about the train bit, I think, isn't it?
I have to be going. Thanks to your help, the citizens of Paris can sleep a little easier tonight.
Vraiment? I was only doing my duty, monsieur. Good luck, Inspector. I hope you catch that killer soon. I'll let you out.
So I take it you did you try to cheese royalty?
I hope you find your man, Inspector.
So do I.
Oh, that little video clip that we stuck on the Discord the other day. That's now whenever I think of all the times that I've cheesed Red in Stardew, that's exactly now what's going through my head. Okay, now we have the fella to ring, so we'll ring him.
Hello? Who is this?
Hi, my name's George Stobbart. You don't know me.
Correct, Mr. Stobbart. I don't. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm trying to trace one of your customers. Could I maybe come over and talk to you?
No, that's not possible.
Oh, okay. Forget it. Listen, all I want is a name.
What are you talking about? Who are you working for?
I guess you might say I'm acting in the interests of truth and justice.
Ah, thank God. I thought you were the police.
There are innocent lives at stake, Mr. Todrick. Lives that you could save.
You're
Wouldn't have spelled Todrick with a Y.
Yes?
No, I'm not. All I want from you is information.
Go on. I'm listening.
Do you know a guy called Plantar?
No, I never heard of him.
Is that season 3 of what was it, the Derry Girls started now? I don't know what that one is. What's that one about?
Shall I tell you what happened to Plantar? How he was killed in cold blood?
I told you, I never heard of Plantar.
I expect Plantar's a family man, don't you? In their little apartment, Madame Plantar is cooking the supper, listening for the familiar sound of her husband's key in the door. Junior is waiting for his daddy to come home from work. He can't wait to show him the merit marks he earned in school today. Only tonight, Monsieur Plantar won't be coming home.
You forgot the puppy.
Huh?
The faithful puppy dog, waiting for the sound of his master's voice.
Well, maybe they don't have a dog. What do you think?
I don't know Plantar. I never heard of Plantar. None of this has anything to do with me.
What do you know about the clown who bombed the Café de la Chandelle Verte?
I don't have no idea what you're talking about.
You're cool, Todrick. But I think you know more than you're saying.
I don't know who you be, but sure I am you don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know if you're saying that to make me think you don't know what I mean, but, this is ridiculous. Quit playing games with me, Todrick.
I tell you, I know nothing about no clown.
Did you know that one of your customers was a part-time clown?
If a guy feels happy with a funny nose and custard down his pants, what's the problem?
The image now.
Thanks for nothing, Todrick.
Okay, should we ring Nico as well? I don't know if we have if we're at a stage where we can.
Bonjour, Collard.
Oh, hi. It's George Stobbart, the American at the Café.
Ah, oui.
You said to call if I could help.
Have you any news for me?
You bet. I met a witness who spoke to the clown, and I know where the killer gets his suits.
No kidding. Hey, I'm impressed.
You are? Well, it wasn't easy.
Look, why don't you come here to my apartment?
Fine. Where do you live?
361 Rue Jarry.
Okay, I'll come right over.
Okay, so now we can leave this area and go to Nico's place. Maybe I should change the bouncy screen with a picture of Nico in the centre. I was thinking about updating it because I've been using that one now since Broken Sword 3. Yeah, it was Broken Sword 3 because it was the early 2000s 3D version and the bouncies were bouncing in a mesmerising way. And what is that? It's a British teen sitcom about a group of teens during the late stages of the Troubles in Ireland. I've not heard of that one. Is that one on Netflix, is it? Liam Neeson... get me words out. Liam Neeson's in it as well. What were we talking about the other day? Oh yeah, with Liam Neeson, we were talking about the Taken films last week, I think. I've still only seen the first one. Or 2 and 3, and I don't know if they did any more. I definitely I know they did 3. Are any of those are the other 2 any good or not? As I say, I've only seen. It was one of those films where I didn't really feel it needed a sequel, so that's why I've never really been like interested in going to see any of the other ones, because the first one was a really good film. And, you know, it concluded to me that was it. That was it sorted. Only 50 minutes in, I've nearly drank this entire massive bottle of orange. Right, let's go talk to the crazy lady on the street.
Oh, hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. Would you like me to foretell your future?
No thanks.
I'm very good, and it only takes a minute.
Thanks all the same, but I'm not superstitious. Besides, if it only takes a minute, that's not much of a future to look forward to.
Is that like the Omega-13? When it makes a 13-second time jump to the past, and she can only see a minute into the future.
Do you know a young woman called Nico Collard?
Yes, I do. She lives upstairs from me, in the apartment block across the street. The door isn't locked, but you'll need to give it a gentle nudge. It sticks, you see, because of the damp. The landlord said he'd fixed it before winter sets in. He's been saying that for 3 years.
I wonder if they're related to our landlord.
How long has Mademoiselle Collard lived here?
A few months. She's in for a shock when the cold weather comes. Drafty windows, insufficient heating, it's a struggle to keep warm. The only reason I stay is because the rent is cheap. You're a young lady. She deserves better.
I thought Mademoiselle Collard was a successful photographer.
Not as successful as she makes out for all her fine clothes. Oh, I've heard her crying herself to sleep at night.
That's awful.
Now don't you let on that I've told you. She's proud, that one. Too proud, if you ask me.
I've changed my mind. Will you tell my fortune?
You're going on a long journey.
My, oh my. What a surprise.
Oh,
Can
shit,
you tell me
Sherlock.
anything I don't already know?
10 francs, please, my dear.
10 francs? That's a ripoff.
Please yourself.
I think the conversion that would only cost £1, though, wouldn't it, back in this sort of time?
How does this fortune-telling routine work?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be selling flowers for a living.
Haven't you ever wondered why you were blessed with the gift?
Well, it's a bit like satellite television, I suppose. Some of us are born with a built-in receiver dish. I just happen to be one of the lucky ones.
Are the flowers for sale?
Oui, monsieur.
Okay. I'll take a bunch of those white ones.
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
No?
They are lilies, monsieur. Some people associate them with death.
Yikes. Well, thanks for telling me. What other flowers do you have?
Dahlias?
What do they signify?
Insecurity.
I don't want to give her the wrong idea about me. What about the tall yellow ones?
Those are iris, the flame of passion.
And the little yellow ones?
Sensuality.
Well, they're no use to me. I want to make an impression, not jump down her throat. Can you really foretell the future?
Only time will tell, monsieur. The strange thing is, I can't seem to see myself in the future. Other people, I have no problem. But when I try to see what might happen to me, nothing.
That must be scary.
Maybe. I figure it's a kind of natural safety mechanism. Either that, or I don't have a future.
Okay, let's show the dirty tissue.
What can you tell me about this tissue?
Nothing?
Oh.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur. You will.
It's on Channel 4, though, you were saying there, JD. Just before we got into that conversation with the crazy woman on the street. I think, actually, I do have the streaming app for Channel 4 on the Apple TV box down here. Hold on, time to watch I tell you in a minute. We're still watching for our Babylon
Remembering the
5.
flower seller's advice, I pushed the door gently, just above the lock.
We're partway through season 4. They've just had the Minbars just had their civil war.
Bonjour. I'm glad you could make it, monsieur.
Please, call me George.
Fine. I'm Nicole. Take a seat, George.
And President Clark has just killed 10,000 civilians trying to flee the war zone.
Eh bien? And what have you been up to?
I've been exploring the sewers beneath the cafe.
I thought I could smell something bad.
The clown used the sewer to escape and to change out of his costume. I guess he was in a hurry. He left his jacket behind.
And?
I got his tailor's phone number.
You had better luck than I did.
Luck, she said. Luck! Hard work, I'd call it. What happened?
I took my photographs to the editor, but he wasn't interested. Can you believe it? He told me to drop the story.
But you're not about to do that.
Oh no. I am going to find out what's behind these killings. You know what I think? It's a conspiracy. The police in 3 different countries have kept very quiet about the murders. The press don't connect them at all. They blame them on political, religious, or militant minority extremists.
Well, that covers just about everyone. Tell me more about the clown's previous victims.
The first was Onno Belota, the millionaire pharmaceutical baron. He made his money from amphetamines in the post-war slimming and diet boom. Imagine it! Millions of housewives literally speeding their butts off.
Was he killed for his money?
No. He had no living relatives, and his fortune went to the orphanage where he'd grown up. The only witness in the case was his Filipino au pair. She swears he was lured to his death by a snowman.
The killer snowman.
What about the clown's second victim?
Yamada, the controversial Japanese green politician. He inherited his fortune from his father's electrochemical consortium. He was committed to dismantling Japan's automobile industry.
I can't see him gaining much support with a loony policy like that.
Yamada was a man of vision. He was years ahead of his time.
If you say so. How did he die?
At the hands, or should I say, flippers, of a giant emperor penguin.
I was just thinking of a snowman there. Wasn't Obama supposed to be scared of snowmen? Because didn't they do like a photo shoot with like an inflatable snowman, like behind them in windows or something like that in different places of the White House?
A snowman, a penguin, and now a clown. You know, I hate to admit it, but this is scary. And I'll tell you what, I won't be accepting any invitations to costume parties.
I don't blame you for being scared. I am too. But this story could be my only chance of a big break.
Or a premature death.
Just think as well. I know on my website occasionally shares it out. That my favourite picture though, just thinking of like Obama when he was president, was when he was in the UK, and he was with the Queen, and the Queen was like leaning over signing a book of some sort, and oh crikey, what the hell's his name's gone completely from my head. The Prince, he was standing next to her, looked like he was bursting out laughing, and Michelle Obama was like standing to the side, and the way the shot is lined up, there's like a big circular like plant behind her, and it makes it look like she's got this giant afro.
I found this tissue down the sewer.
Oh, that's disgusting, George.
I think the stuff on it is grease paint, like actors use. Or clowns.
It's still disgusting. Get rid of it.
Evening Black Horse, welcome in. We started one of my favourite point-and-click adventures, the original, that was on the original PlayStation, Broken Sword. What sort of trouble have you been causing today then, Black Horse? And what sort of controller have you been buying that you can't just plug it in and play?
I found a piece of material near the cafe. When I showed it to the concierge, he recognized it right away.
It's very distinctive, all right. Just wait until you see this. I developed the film I shot at the cafe. Here, George, it's an enlargement I made. Look what that guy's wearing.
Checkered pants. The same material as I found in the sewer.
That's right. This guy shouldn't be difficult to find.
Oh no?
Take a close look at his left cheek.
A scar. In the shape of a horseshoe.
Oh, a crescent moon.
Dun dun dun. How many controllers do you go through, Chrissy? The best controller, though, I keep on bringing it up, is the Xbox Elite Series 1. Apparently there's technical issues with the Series 2. As much as it's got 3 profiles on it, apparently it's not as good a construction. But I've not used it, so I can't say. But the Elite Series 1, that's like the controller I used to dream about when I played like in the 90s on the original PlayStation. I mean, those paddles underneath just make all the difference. Plus, you can manipulate the like the tensions and stuff on them. 2 or 3 a year. Yeah, you couldn't use an elite controller, Chrissy. It would cost you a fortune. I think I paid like 160 odd or something because I got it when it first came out. I think the second one's even more expensive, or at least it was.
I found this false nose in the sewer.
Hey, what's this inside it?
The contents of someone's nose?
Don't be cross, George. It says La Risée du Monde. Masks and costumes. It's a costume shop near the Gare Saint-Lazare.
I'll check it out. Maybe the owner remembers who hired the clown costume.
Why don't you put it on, George?
No way am I wearing this. I'd look really stupid. Besides, you might have had a cold.
Okay, so we've got another phone number there. And, oh yeah, you've both been, was today a hospital day as well? Or is it, what day is it? I'm forever getting mixed up on which days it is for the dialysis days. But, have to make sure you keep looking after her. Bring her a cup of tea. Or this time of night, it'd be hot chocolate. Ooh, hot chocolate with squirty cream. Chrissy, get to work.
Tell me more about yourself.
Oh, there is not much to tell.
Well, how did you get into photography?
I guess I owe that to my father. He bought my first camera. I was 8 and my parents had just split up.
Did you live with your father?
Yes, my mother went off with her new boyfriend. I don't mind. Papa was all I needed. 4 years later, he died in a plane crash.
Ah, I'm sorry.
Well, it's all right. I don't mind talking about him. He was more like an older brother, really, always joking and laughing. Papa always wanted I should study art. That's why I went to college.
No excuses, Chrissy. I've got to ask, is Royalty back to work tonight as well? Or was it just last night? Is she recovering from the shock?
Did you learn about photography at college?
Oh, God, no. I couldn't afford the materials. We were billed for everything we used. Paint, canvas, paper. Most of my year turned to minimalism. It was cheaper. I used to go poaching in the park for squirrel hair. The only time I wasn't hungry was the term I did printing. I used to eat the potatoes.
You're making fun of me, aren't you?
Oh no,
Do you have a boyfriend?
that's none of your business.
Because we know that it's Andre that wants to be.
How come you enlarged this photograph of me?
Because I noticed the guy behind you, of course.
Not tonight. Definitely tired herself out. Everyone else is well. We all know everyone else there was useless. What was it? It was the Great Conspiracy of the Mats as well, wasn't it? I think that we used to talk about for that one.
May I use your telephone?
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks. Hello? Who is this? Mr. Todrick?
Oh, it's you again. What now?
Did you make a suit for a man with a scar on his face? A scar in the shape of a crescent moon?
Maybe. Maybe not.
Tell me where I can find him and I'll leave you alone.
And if I don't,
I won't leave you alone.
I can't tell you anything unless you give me his name.
Do you know where I can find the guy with the scar?
I told you. Without a name, I can't help you.
Thanks for nothing, Todrick.
We must get the name from the costume place.
I'm going back out to search for that clown.
Where?
Well, I guess I could visit the costume shop.
Good idea.
Okay, let's go. What's that there? Black horse, big Roman, and all the mats have left. They've gone off to join their secret society. Right, which one is? This is the costume place, isn't it?
As my fingers closed on the plastic novelty, I realized my mistake. It was a novelty, all right, but it wasn't plastic.
I didn't think what it was that he just put his fingers in.
Excuse me.
Bonjour, monsieur. Please, come in. Welcome. Leave the mundane world behind, but in these four walls, fantasy is king.
I don't want a costume.
Didn't you ever dress up when you were a child?
Not that I remember.
Incredible! You'll be telling me next that you never shared your elder sister's lingerie.
I don't have a sister, and I think I'd look pretty silly in a brassiere. I just need some information.
Of course. How can I help you?
I was thinking, Chris, it's not the Knights Templars, it's the Mats Templars.
Do you recognize this man?
Oui, monsieur.
Secret
I stole him
society.
some grease paint.
Does this dirty tissue mean anything to you?
Let me smell that. Bestheimer's number 7 white pancake.
Theatrical grease paint, right?
Oui, monsieur. La crème de la crème of Thespian accoutrement.
Have you sold any of it recently?
Yes, 2 cans.
Do you want this red nose back?
Not after it's been worn, thank you.
Have you heard of a man named Plantile?
I do not recall anyone of that name.
I'm looking for a man who hired a clown costume from you.
The man whose photograph you showed me, He hired 2 costumes.
2?
Yes, Bozo the Clown and Seamus the Pixie.
What was his name?
Khan. A Middle Eastern man, I would think.
And did he have the scar on his face?
That's right, in the shape of a crescent moon.
So they're you're still on field 5 of whichever. I tell you what, one of the big maps that you're playing. I'm surprised with all your mods though. Surely you could have harvested the whole thing in about 15 seconds.
How come clowns are so popular?
I think it has something to do with their unpredictable nature.
Personally, I think clowns should be banned, along with mimes.
Oh, come now.
Agreed.
Who doesn't love clowns?
Me, for one.
You've never sniff a random tissue. Certainly not in today's society now.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
My pleasure, monsieur. Allow me to shake you by the hand.
Huh? Well, okay. What are you trying to do, kill me?
You did not find it amusing?
I never saw the funny side of electroshock therapy.
Eh bien, it is yours to keep. A gift?
Do I need a license?
No, but I give you a word of warning, monsieur.
What?
Remember to switch it off before you visit the toilet.
Oh. Okay, we will go back to Nico's apartment so that we can use her phone. Yep, the hand buzzer. When did we get the dog biscuits? What was it? This one, or was it the second one? I'm trying to remember who we would send, who we would offer the dog biscuits to.
What news?
I've been to the costume shop.
Yeah, I like it. What are you supposed to be?
I didn't hire a costume. These are my clothes and you know it.
Did you ask about the clown?
Yeah. He used the name Khan. He hired 2 costumes, the clown and a pixie.
Then we're one jump ahead of him.
How do you make that out?
He probably plans to use the pixie suit next time he kills.
Oh, God, don't let it be me. I don't deserve to die at the hands of a pixie.
Don't be silly, George. That won't happen.
Oh, no?
No, because every time you see a pixie, you're going to run like hell.
What are you doing to help trace the killer clown?
Research, George.
Yeah? You have a copy of the clown's yearbook?
I have a telephone and lots of contacts.
Oh, well, did you find anything useful?
Not yet. I'm employing my first and most useful weapon.
What's that?
Patience.
Oh, I've heard of that. Isn't it a substitute for decisive thinking? Have you found out any more about the murders?
Well, it may be nothing, but both the clown's victims visited Paris earlier this year.
When?
The second week of July. They were both here at the same time.
Did they meet?
I don't know, but I can't imagine it was coincidence.
May I use your telephone?
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks.
Okay, now we'll ring the costume fella. Oh yeah, that was Todrick. I would not have spelled that name like that.
Who is this?
It's George Stobbart again.
What now?
I found out the name of the guy I'm looking for.
Is that so?
Yeah, it's Khan. You know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes, I delivered the suit to his hotel. The Hotel Ubu. I don't remember the room number. It was upstairs. The second room on the right-hand side of the corridor.
Thanks, Todrick. That's all I wanted to know. Now I've got you, Mr. Clown. Now we're getting somewhere. Do you know the Hotel Ubu?
The Ubu? Yes, I do.
That's where the clown stayed.
Good work, George.
Okay, to the Ubu.
See you later.
Where are you going now?
I could go hang out at the Hotel Ubu.
Watch out for Khan, George.
Don't worry, I will.
And this is also where we meet that other crazy lady. who pops up all over the series. Okay, let's head out. There it is. Oh, I thought those guys tried to stop you. Hang on. Let's just go back out.
Just a minute, monsieur.
What's your problem?
No problem, if you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check. Nothing to worry yourself about.
Oh, well, all right.
Search him, Flap.
You bet.
Oh, there's number 2 for the dog biscuits.
Hey, knock it off. Get off, you big ape.
But we will be doing...
Nothing, Guido. Zilch.
Our apologies, monsieur.
What? I had to report you to the authorities.
Round here, we are the authorities.
You want I should break his arms?
No. Let him go, Flap.
We do encounter these fellas in later games as well. But we will be doing Broken Sword 2 because I also have the original like PS1 version. So we will be getting to that one as well. Alright, let's go talk to the fella at the desk.
I want some information.
Who are you? The police?
I'm conducting a private investigation.
Ah, I know only too well what you mean. That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business. When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
I've just been manhandled by a gorilla.
Yes? I do not see any signs of a gorilla.
No, not a real gorilla. It was a guy who looked like a gorilla. It happened right out front of this building.
Let me get this quite clear. Are you complaining or bragging?
I want to know what you're going to do about it. The scrawny one has a gun.
I suggest you contact the police.
Can't you do anything about them?
What goes on in the streets of Paris is hardly my responsibility.
Do you have a guest by the name of Khan?
No, monsieur. Perhaps you would care to check the register.
Do you know a man named Plantard?
No, monsieur.
I'm looking for a man who dresses like a clown.
This is a highly respectable hotel, monsieur. There are no clowns here.
If you say so. Aren't you concerned that your guests are being intimidated by gangsters?
No one else has complained, monsieur. Did they steal anything from you?
Well, no. They didn't find what they were looking for.
What was that?
I don't know. I don't think they did either. The man who calls himself Khan has a scar on his left cheek.
Vraiment? I tell you, I do not know a man named Khan.
Maybe not, but I'd noticed a change in his expression when I mentioned the scar.
Show me the
Do
picture.
you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
Give him the tissue.
What do you make of this tissue?
Do you wish me to dispose of it for you, monsieur?
Hey, no! It could be useful. I'm holding on to this.
As you wish, monsieur. Perhaps you would like a little plastic baggie to keep it in?
Nah, it's fine the way it is.
Just likes it greasing up his pockets.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
Okay. Let's talk to the fella in the middle. And we'll work her over to Lady
Excuse me.
Crazy.
Didn't I see your picture in the news? You're that Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Yes, that is me, in person.
I don't want to worry you, but have you had any threats on your life? You know, mysterious phone calls, letters made up of headlines cut from the newspaper.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you recognize this man? He calls himself Khan.
Yes, I know this man. Why do you carry his photograph?
I'm a private detective. Have you seen a clown?
I beg your pardon?
The clown. A guy in funny pants. Have you seen him?
My pants are from England, Marks and Spencer. They are a pleasure and a comfort to wear, with much support.
I'm real glad to hear that. You know, it's good to know you Nobel Prize winners are human too.
In my country, the people make do with string and egg cartoons.
For pants?
For everything. Oppression is the mother of ingenuity.
Do you know a guy called Plantow?
I don't know anybody in Paris.
Oh, well, this guy's dead anyhow.
Why do you ask me about dead men? I have seen enough of death to last me a lifetime.
I'm, sure you have. Does this goo-smeared tissue mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
This is a photo of Khan, right?
That is just one of the names by which he is known.
What's your interest in Khan?
He is an enemy of my people.
You know he's a killer?
Of course, amongst other things.
Would you help me investigate Khan?
That is not possible. My instructions are to observe. I cannot jeopardize my position as an honored guest of this country's government.
Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Okay, let's now hop over to the crazy lady.
Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment I thought, but never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George Stobbart, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors were honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin!
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest.
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobbart. Shaken. I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honour. Do you know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
Did you know there's a gangster out front?
What makes you think he's a gangster?
The Italian suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets. That doesn't necessarily make them gangsters.
That gangster I told you about? He went through my pockets just now.
Good heavens! One never knows what to expect in foreign parts. Thank you for the warning, young man. I shall hide my credit cards in my underwear.
Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday. I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear. It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. The wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting.
He's what, sorry?
I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hemel Hempstead. That was until last night.
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Stobbart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
They couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight, romantic music tinkling across the room, and then a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers. He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling, positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantar's briefcase. Has Merlin returned to the hotel?
No, he hasn't. Are you going to search his room?
If I could get in there, I would.
Right, so
I have to go, ma'am.
We need to trigger the fella at the desk being unhappy that we're going to try and steal the key so that we can get her over to distract.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
What?
You were trying to steal that key, no?
No way.
Right, now we go back over here. We should have, the dialogue should be open to us now if we click on Lady Piermont. This crazy old bat.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Would you distract the clerk while I borrow a key?
Are you asking me to aid you in a criminal act, darling?
I guess I am.
Good heavens, I must be dreaming.
I don't think so, ma'am.
Now tell me, why do you want to get into that room?
I'm hoping it's the key to Merlin's room.
Well, how can I refuse? I shouldn't think my feminine charms would be much use in this case, but a good dose of English arrogance might do the trick. I say! You there? Flunky!
Oui, madame.
Listen carefully. You do understand English, don't you?
But of course, madame.
Good. I wish to deposit some jewellery for safekeeping.
I understand.
Are you quite certain?
Oh, bien sûr, madame.
Over to you, my dear.
Grab the key and run. I'm certain whatever we get, we have to throw it out of the window so that those fellas can't get us with whatever we're carrying at the front door. Was it the second door? I can't quite remember off the top of my head. What the
door was locked.
What the guy at the there it is. What the guy at the place said.
Key for the door.
If I clicked on it.
It was a key ring bearing one large brass key and a tag which read Hotel Ubu. It wasn't the right key for the door.
It would have been the first one, wouldn't it? Or do we have to go? Do we have to go out the window? Is that right for this next bit?
Maybe it wasn't the right room, but this was the right key.
Yeah, anything? I don't think there's anything that we really need to click on other than the window to climb back out. And then we'll slide along. You know, once we've done like the original 1 and 2 for Broken Sword, I'm so tempted just to keep going again. Especially since on the very last stream of, I think Broken Sword 3 and 4, I fixed the graphical resolution issues. Oh, we have a Stargate mission. Okay, let's have a rummage through his stuff. Oh, there's the case.
I searched the interior of the briefcase, but as I'd half expected, it was empty.
What is Pixie
There was
outfit being
nothing
here?
in the pockets of the pants.
Okay, what else can we interfere with? Sure, there was something that we had to pick up from in here. What have we got there?
The bed was
emerges.
freshly made, and the crisp white sheets told me nothing about the killer's habits.
I was about to say that the Teal emerges from the Stargate after infiltrating the gold facility, and we're up against Cronus. Yeah, no wonder we completed our victory mission. Oh, and Chrissy got the commendation. Just seeing, is there anything else that we haven't clicked on in here, memories? I'm sure we need something here. We have to pick up a card or... Oh, here he comes. Look at those trousers.
I had the kind of feeling in my stomach that would usually send me running to the bathroom.
Hi, George. He's not getting changed into his pixie costume. Yep, and we're starting a Hunger Games. I was thinking about the Hunger Games earlier on. I wonder if, like, somewhere we could build like an arena on the server. And I was like thinking about like a Colosseum style one. But what if we made like a huge region, put like a big wall going circular around it? I'm talking like a few thousand blocks perimeter, like diameter sort of thing, and we could like fill it with like traps and stuff like that all inside.
I couldn't believe my luck when I found 2 items in the pockets of the pants. The first was an ordinary matchbook. No matches, no clues. The second was a pass card which read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Okay, so we've got that there. What else did you say you picked up there? Oh yeah, matchbook.
The matchbook bore a pattern of swirling color and the words Club Alamut.
That's where we go, I think, later on, where the guy who doesn't have a tongue.
There was nothing else in the pockets of the killer's pants.
He was the one that won the fight, if I recall. Okay, we'll head back downstairs now. And now we need to get turned away from the fella at the desk. Oh, he's not there. Oh, this time I'm victorious, and I stand over Chrissy's crumpled remains.
Hi, ma'am.
We all know
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
we all know that royalty would have won if she had entered that one.
I got the key. Thanks for your help, ma'am. I found this pass in Merlin's room.
So, that deceitful little man is passing himself off as an electrician, is he?
Uh-huh. This guy probably has a million faces. I found this matchbook in Merlin's bedroom.
It came from the Club Alamut. It might be useful to find out if that club is in Paris, George.
I have to go, ma'am.
What is the name of the other country that we go to later on? The one where, you know, like drives out into the desert and what have you. Where we encounter the other two maniacs. What were their names again? Because there's the crazy guy who may or may not be in the CIA. He might just be crazy. And there is his wife as well that we encounter throughout the entire series.
I'd like to retrieve something from your safe.
Ah, oui, monsieur. May I see some form of identification?
Like what?
A driving license, perhaps?
I don't drive.
Your passport?
I don't have it with me. I could show you my operation scar.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I must have some form of unique ID.
You won't find a more unique ID than my scar.
I'm sorry. I must insist on a more traditional identification.
Rats. Does this pass mean anything to you?
That is Monsieur Merlin's property.
That's right. Merlin the murderer. I want to see what he's left in your safe.
Impossible. I cannot betray his confidence, no matter what you say he's done.
You're making a big mistake.
Maybe. I can live with that.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
No, monsieur.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
Okay, Lady Piermont, to the rescue once more.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Oh, I was hoping the dialogue option would have opened up there.
Would you like to keep Merlin's pass as a memento?
No, darling. My broken heart is reminder enough.
I showed the pass to the clerk, hoping he'd give me Merlin's papers, but he wouldn't buy it. He's too scared.
I'll give him something to be scared of. Follow me, George!
Her voice reminds me of the ladies in Blackbeard's Ghost, which is another Disney film that I definitely recommend you guys watch.
Did you place a package from Merlin in the hotel safe?
I did, madame.
And did my friend here show you Merlin's identification?
Indeed he did, but...
What's the problem?
He isn't Merlin.
A mere academic detail. Give him the package.
But that is against the law.
I happen to be a justice of the peace, you silly man. I am the law. If he tries anything, shoot him, George.
My pleasure, Lady Piermont.
One moment, please.
You know, I haven't enjoyed myself this much since Greenham Common.
I don't know what I would have done without you, Lady Piermont.
Voilà, monsieur. Le manuscrit de Monsieur Merlin.
Thanks.
How satisfying. An Anglo-American alliance that actually worked.
The clerk had given me a tightly rolled sheet of parchment. I decided not to unroll it until I was safely back in Nico's apartment.
Okay, we're going to drop this out the window, then we're going to go out the front door, get searched, go back into the back alley, where we can collect it.
The door was locked.
Oh, it's really going to make me go through the motions of clicking on the key, isn't it? Then we hop out the window again. I've never seen these types of beds. I've never really seen what real use they have. Okay, manuscript, where is it? Oh, there it is.
I knew this was no way to treat an ancient manuscript, but I couldn't let it fall into the hands of the goons waiting outside.
Back in we go. Now, we haven't had any George grunts yet, have we? We need to get like a sound sample of those. I think they're more in like the third one onwards when we have to like move boxes and stuff around in the 3D environments.
Hold it right there. Search him again, lad.
Nothing, Guido.
Okay, let him go.
Don't one of these get killed in a later one? I think like maybe as they went through the mincer and the butcher's place. I can't quite be sure.
If the manuscript was what Flap and Guido were after, they were going to be disappointed. I couldn't wait to get back to Nico's apartment and check it out.
I think this will be
You're
when we
just
get
not going to believe what I've
introduction to Andre.
It's not another part of the clown's costume, is it?
It's a medieval manuscript. Khan left it in the safe at the Ubu.
It's incredible. Is this what he took from Plantark?
It could be, which means it's worth enough to kill for.
Look there, two guys on the same horse.
Oh yeah, maybe they couldn't afford one each. What of it?
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar? Their official seal was an image of two knights sharing a horse. Whatever this manuscript means, it's connected with the Templars.
How come you know about these knights?
I learned about them while writing an article on the Crusades.
No bother there, Black Horse. I'm probably going to wrap up in a few minutes once we get through this cutscene anyway, to be honest.
Arrived one day at the court of King of Jerusalem. He offered to protect the Christian pilgrims from the displaced Muslim armies. The king would be able to guarantee safe transit to Christians in the Holy Land. Safer journeys meant more pilgrims, and pilgrims meant trade and wealth. The Templars proved invaluable to the king as a mercenary army. It was said that they never asked how many the enemy numbered, just where they were. And as the years went by, the Templars grew in wealth and numbers. They were so rich, even kings came to them for loans. But at the height of their power, they fell foul of the King of France. He rounded them up and turned them over to the Inquisition. Thousands of Templars were subject to torture and confessed to heresy. Of course, at the hands of the Inquisition, there wasn't much they wouldn't confess to. The last Grand Master Jacques de Molay was burned alive. But the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found.
Jeez. So the treasure is hidden, waiting to be discovered?
If there ever was a treasure, it's been lost for 600 years. Anyway, we're supposed to be investigating a serial killer, not a medieval treasure trove.
But maybe that's what the clown and his accomplices are after. Maybe this manuscript is the key.
You'd better leave it here for safekeeping. Think about it, Josh. One guy's already died for it, as you said yourself. Besides, that parchment is fragile.
Okay, I'm convinced. You keep hold of it. I found Plantar's briefcase in the killer's hotel room.
It was empty, of course. Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Let's face it, we need help, George. Someone who knows about these things.
Who do you suggest? Indiana Jones?
I know a guy who specializes in medieval studies. His name is Lobino.
Huh. Some stuffy old fossil who gets horny over ancient relics, I suppose.
Far
Horny
from
over
it.
something else.
Andre isn't the stereotypical professor you have in mind.
Where can I find this Lobino guy?
At the Kroon Museum. I'll give you the address.
There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
She reminds me of the Wicked Queen in Snow White.
She was the one who said mirror, mirror on the wall, wasn't she? She made me cry so much when I was a kid, Mom carried me out of the movie theater.
She didn't frighten me in the least.
Like I said, I was only a kid. I didn't like the crocodile in Peter Pan either. A knight with a crystal ball. Now, there's something written on the scroll beside the knight.
Yes, but it's written in Latin. Per disciplinam mea lux videbis.
By my teachings, you will see the light.
You speak Latin? Where did you learn a trick like that?
A trick? I studied law, okay? I can read Latin.
My, you're touchy. Tell me that again.
Through my teachings, you will be enlightened. There's a guy working on a loom. He's weaving a carpet or a tapestry.
Or a duvet cover. It's a clue to a place, I reckon. Somewhere famed for weaving and ships.
Where folk live in barrels?
It beats copper boxes.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull.
The only mythological bull I know of is the Minotaur, but he was only half bull.
I don't think I'd like to be half a bull, even if it was the bottom half.
What's that object between them?
It looks like a gem on top of a tripod. Maybe I'll check out the Kroon Museum.
I'm sure you'll find it useful, George.
Okay, we'll head down to the street, and outside of Nico's apartment, we will save. I had hoped to get up to Ireland, but I think there's probably like another 45 minutes or so before we actually reach Ireland. I thought that would have been like a nice story point, but I'm gonna wrap it up here though today. So save, stream. I did a test save yesterday just to make sure the game would actually save, because I'm running this. I'm not running it the way it's supposed to be. I'm running it through a different emulator because Steam is crap. There we go, we've got that saved. And that, as I said, is where we will wrap up for this evening. If I just press this here, and then I want to press this button here, apparently I want to press that button there as well. Okay, let's have a little bond and see who is online that we can go and harass. I tell you what, we'll hop over and see CJD. He raided us last week, I think it was. So let's hop over and see what he's up to. Okay, so yeah, we will return to the Adventures of George Stobbart next Wednesday in our original Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars original version. Tomorrow night we will be doing we've got a special stream tomorrow, as we have a 500 piece puzzle to put together. I'm gonna have to hook my camera up now as well, aren't I, so I can so I can get the right elevation for it off the table. Actually, I might bring the frame in a bit as well. I'll sort it out tomorrow. I can't be cheating to that tonight. Okay, what have we got there? Oh yeah, and if all goes according to plan, we will have Stardew Valley on Friday, where we would just day 1 of year 3. Saturday, we are returning to the vaults, and I'm determined we are going to do some of the story missions in Fallout 3. we managed on Monday, we managed to do some story missions on Dying Light. And then on Sunday, we'll be playing Call of the Wild, trying to level up and trying to get some extra money, and trying to figure out which weapons are like good or bad. Okay, let's hop over here then. So thank you for watching, everybody. Wrong button. Wow, it's all going right now, isn't it? Okay, thank you for watching, everyone. Have a good night, and we'll see you all next time. Thank you for joining me today. If you are enjoying our journey and would like to see more, then please rate, comment, favourite and subscribe in whichever manner your chosen platform allows. If you are joining us on Twitch, Mixer or YouTube, where we have loads more for you to watch, from our live streams to all our episodes across our various series. You can also drop by and say hi over on Discord, where we chat about everything from Minecraft to books and movies to tabletop games. But most importantly, thank you very much for watching and have a lovely day.